This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the New Media Production Studio. We start off tonight with really one hot story. Elon Musk and Twitter. We'll get into it hot and heavy here. I want to welcome you to episode 1629 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, October 31st. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Hey, I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners of the show. Thank you for being here. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Make sure that you get over to geeknewscentral.com. When you're on the website, get subscribed or follow the podcast. The link is right there on the main page. Of course, get signed up for our newsletter as well. That will guarantee that you'll get all the news and information about this show and each and every episode delivered directly to your email inbox. You can always join our chat room at geeknews.chat. That's a Mastodon chat server where lots of Twitter users are running to. Or you can join our Discord channel, or you can be part of our Slack channel. If you want to be part of the Slack channel, it's easy. Just send me an email to geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com, or follow me, again, if you're still on Twitter, at Geek News. Of course, you can follow me on Facebook as well, just by searching for my name. All the partner shows are linked at geeknewscentral.com. That includes the New Media Show, the Gadget Professor with Mr. Don Bain, the GNC Week in Review with Scott and Kirk. Definitely check out those shows at geeknewscentral.com. If you want to be part of the Geek News Central family and start a podcast, I definitely want to hear from you. Of course, this show is sponsored by the longest-running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's our good friends at GoDaddy. And yes, even though this is the end of October, the codes on the website will be good moving into November, and where you can save lots of money. 30% off on new product purchases, or a $4.99 for a .com for those of you that are brand new customers on new or transferred domains. Again, new customer offer only. A $1.99 a month economy hosting for the first year with a free domain, or $2.99 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year, again with a free domain. Free trial to GoDaddy Website Builder. Your choice of personal, business, or business plus plans. Those are all available. Again, all those codes are available on my website and available at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. So definitely check out all those promo codes. Grab one, use one, save money. That's what we want you to do. And if everything is going correctly tonight, we're officially lit. And time will tell. The lit feature has not been working for me for some reason. One thing I'm going to do I've been away from the mic. I was in here, did a show on Wednesday, but for some reason the audio is a little low. Let me turn the volume back here on the main feeding machine. There we go. That's better. It was just a little down, so I had to reach back there and turn up a knob. But hey, so wow, it has been 2 weeks. So let me get a rundown of what really has happened here. And again, I've talked about this New Media Show. I've talked a little bit about Facebook. I flew out of here essentially about 2 weeks ago and went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I attended the Ignite event. It was simply incredible. Probably 2,000 to 2,500 folks each day of the event. Got to talk to a lot of creators. I had a great presentation. Got 2 or 3 rounds of applause from the audience on topics that I was excited about sharing with them about the openness of podcasting. You guys know the drill here. Been around for a while. And met with a lot of business folks. And it was really a great event. It was their first event ever to do with the creator sphere in Saudi. And even though Riyadh is the most conservative city in Saudi Arabia, women driving, lots of women uncovered, largely under 30. people holding hands, people in the. It was really a different vibe. Every imaginable American brand was there. Every you name it. Try to eat local as much as I could. Got taken out a couple of times. Ate in the hotel. I'm going to have a video about it. I got the videos finally loaded into the laptop. I'll do some cut ups and some stuff, and I'll get that prepared here. Hopefully, I can get it done in the next week. But it was a great trip. But I was home just for a short time, and really, I planned on doing a show last Monday, but just the jet lag hit me too hard. And then I had a business trip. I had to leave on Wednesday. Came back Sunday. So been full on at the office here. Things have been crazy. I was able to do last week a new media show on Wednesday. So if you're interested in the things that I was chit-chatting about, feel free to take a peek at that episode. It gives you full details of everything that happened in Riyadh. But most importantly, I'm here back with you. Should be back for the foreseeable future. Don't have any additional trips planned. Don't know what I'm doing for Thanksgiving yet, but there should be a full month of November of content for you with no breaks. So, but again, thank you for being patient. And again, business calls, and sometimes life just throws a loop. And for those of you that are insiders of the show, thank you for your ongoing continued support. It's greatly appreciated. But lots of things, lots of moving pieces at this point. And again, then thanks for being patient while I was out. For those of you that have been listening to the show via Fountain, a new podcast app that allows you to earn Satoshis to be able to donate to the show, I want to thank user 1010 for 500 sats, user Briguy for 10. A series of 10 sats, 500 sats from Mitch, 1,000 sats from Anonymous, 11,000 sats from Tom, no last name. Make sure you say who you are when you are boosting, and that's what it's called, boosting. And we definitely want to hear those come in. If everything goes right, I don't know if I've got it plugged in. If anyone sends a boost tonight, during the show, let me make sure the volume is turned up. That way you'll be able to hear a boost come in if one comes in tonight, and if we're able to make that live action tag work. So let's just kind of get into the stack, man. It's been nothing really except Elon and Twitter from, like last Friday. Everything from Twitter employees expecting layoffs and aggressive cuts. There's just this whole litany of things. Apparently, the process began on Musk's first day. It left employees confused, unsure of their fate. They were asking managers to send basically a list, top to bottom, of top performers to worst. Elon was asking coders to bring code, because he brought in engineering teams from Tesla, and they want a 30 to 60 day review of code. And initially they said to print it out, but then they said, no, bring it in your computer. So a little miscommunication that was laughed about. But this whole series of things that have happened, talking about making the $4.99 fee now $20, and basically those that have blue tick marks like me, to get to have to pay $20 a month to keep the tip mark. I don't have an issue with $4.99, but keeping the tick mark for $20, that's as much as I pay for LinkedIn. LinkedIn a year. And is that blue check mark really that valuable? I don't know, but we'll know by November 7th. Because they have until this Sunday, I guess, or whenever November 7th is. Let's look at the date. Let's look at the calendar here. No, that would be Sunday. We'll know whether or not this feature is actually coming in the price, if it's actually $20 or not. But Musk denied a portion of the New York Times report that said that layoffs at Twitter's would take place on November 1st, largely because employees were to receive stock grants as part of their compensation. So Musk's cost cutting may be at least partly related to the $13 billion debt he used to complete the $44 billion purchase. Last year's Twitter's interest expense was about $50 million. With the new debt taken on in the deal, that will now balloon to about $1 billion a year. Yet the company's operations last year generated about $630 million in cash flow to meet its financial obligations. So they're going to want to earn more money, and cut some costs. But the folks he fired them for cause, so they couldn't capture some of their bonuses. So that was an interesting move. We'll see if there's any lawsuits of that. Of course, he dissolved the Twitter's board of directors because he delisted Twitter. Twitter is no longer on the New York Stock Exchange or wherever, or NASDAQ, wherever it was listed. And he cemented his control over the company, and he made changes immediately. Friday, he basically said, when people aren't logged in, I want them to come to a page that shows specific information, data streams. So he basically came in and started being the boss. He brought in a whole bunch of people, a huge bunch of people. People that a lot of his trusted inner circle. One of them was Jason Calacanis, which is interesting that, of course, Jason was involved in PayPal, so was Elon. So they're just going through and trying to get a handle on everything going on over there. Of course, there was some activity that happened. Twitter's head of safety and integrity says that more than 50,000 tweets containing a particular slur were posted in the 48 hours amid reports of a racist trolling campaign. So they were killing off those accounts and taking care of that, of course. They were mostly automated systems. But a certain word was being posted along with some LGBTQ slurs as well. So the people said no changes have taken place at Twitter in regards to the moderation policies, or no changes to people being banned either. So he's posted a number of things over the weekend and took a little shot at New York Times. He even laughed about an onboarding email he got from the company that talks about some online classes he has to take. He showed some Slack messages from the Twitter board that was deliberately withheld from him. So what does that mean? Could there be some litigation coming? Potentially. And of course, again, I talked about the potential of $20 a month to pay to maintain your Twitter blue check mark. And so again, it's just like news article after news article. And again, he changed the homepage on Friday, but he just brought in He brought in Alex Spiro, Musk's personal lawyer. He brought in Andrew Musk, a relative who works for his brain interface startup Neuralink. Jen Balajada, CEO of the Boring Company. David Sachs, influential political donor and fellow PayPal Mafia member Jason Calacanis, VC and longtime friend of Musk. Siriam Krisham, a former Twitter product lead, and current VC Anderson Horowitz is also friends with Musk. Also, Kavan Bekapur, Twitter's former head of product, who was fired last May, was brought in, seen in the office, sparking rumors he could return. So little tidbits of things here and there are coming out. But one thing's for sure, Twitter's communication department, which probably every one of those people is going to go, has stopped responding to press inquiries since Musk's takeover. And, he's got a big, he doesn't allow press inquiries. There's no press team per se at all. So this is just going to be ongoing. So again, what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 articles that's talking about, everything from Business Week to ours to The Verge, all talking about Elon and what is going to happen at this company. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy right now. Time will tell what's going on. One thing I need to do is I need to readjust the camera. Oh, there we go. Camera's back where it's supposed to be. But let's go ahead and move on. You guys are probably already sick of all the news, but I was watching what was happening in the discussions going on and what was trending, and it was fun to watch. But not surprisingly, Verizon, and T-Mobile worked in Riyadh. I was able to stay online, have data. Verizon did not. Verizon was completely worthless. The partner there didn't work, didn't have data. I could get text messages, but that's just about it. I actually tethered my T-Mobile phone that was on a Saudi carrier to my Verizon phone in order to have data on my Verizon phone. It was dumb. So if you ever go, make sure you get an eSIM, especially if you're on Verizon. But Verizon is raising fees on connected hotspots, laptops, and tablets in December. So it's raising its administries for these devices from $6 per line, 6 cents per line, to $1.40 per line. Users will be learning about the change tomorrow, with increase going into effect on December 1st. The amount bumps to about $16 a year. Company argues the charge is comparable and generally lower than aggregate fees across the industry. Blah, 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 blah. Verizon not raising its fees on voice lines with this increase, so the phone lines won't be affected. Just charge me what you're going to charge me. Don't make adjustments to some fee administrative charge. Just tell me what it's going to be, because we already have all the other charges that comes along. And again, it's like these series of fees that they charge. Company fees should be wrapped up in the price. If it's a federal fee or something like that, or a tax, that's fine. Break it out. But home internet service or connected smartwatch, if tablets were on voice lines and got a free increase earlier this year, they won't be getting a hike now. So the fee change is the latest price bump. It may announce it with increasing fees for devices with voice lines from $1.35 to $3.30. In June, the carrier raised rates for users who were still on its older shared data plans, which affected me. So, yeah. Anyway, more money coming out of your pocket. So we've always talked about UFOs, and of course the government always says it's swamp gas. UFO sightings are usually foreign spying or space junk, government source says. The last year has seen the U.S. government actually begin to pay attention to possibly alien activity. In 2021, the Office Director of National Intelligence conducted an unprecedented preliminary assessment of unidentified aerial phenomena, or the government's term for UFOs. Assessment aimed to determine how federal agencies could be investigating, classifying, and addressing 144 UAP sightings from the previous 17 years. Most of those sightings weren't explainable at the time, but this week, intelligence agencies will provide Congress with an update, and it's a little less flashy than anticipated. According to a handful of government officials spoke in confidence with the New York Times, many UAP sightings from the last decade are bound to be the results of foreign surveillance or space junk. Now, foreign surveillance at treetop level? Space junk at treetop level? Some incidents have been officially attributed to Chinese surveillance, which the country conducted with relatively ordinary drone technology. In the United States? Really? 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 That's what they're saying on this. That some UFOs we've seen here in the United States is drone tech? Others are thought to be associated with China, but haven't formally classified such based on what people close to the matter told the New York Times. China's invested interest in learning how the U.S. trains its military pilots. The best place to figure that out, Chinese intelligence agents seem to believe, is high in the sky. Now, let me tell you something here, ladies and gentlemen. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance. Not a chance. That's all I'm going to say about that. Not a chance. Other signs have been attributed to space junk or retired satellites or other equipment that remain in orbit. Even less is the fact that some flying saucers have been weather balloons. Oh my God. They're at it again. Yes, indeed. Swamp gas. Fog. A moon, star, a planet. But by God, it is never alien technology. That's their story, and they're sticking to it. Time will tell. Okay. Oh, another Musk thing. They're going to work to reboot Vine. He's got a team of engineers looking at the code from Vine. They want to use Vine to compete with TikTok. One source says it needs a lot of work. Well, of course, if it's been shuttered since 2016, need a little code update. Popular YouTube star Mr. Beast tweeted in response, if you did that and actually competed with TikTok, that'd be hilarious. To which Musk replied, what could we do to make it better than TikTok? One big difference between TikTok and the 2016 era Vine is that the former uses a logo to serve up videos, where Vine relied on a user's social follows. So the Vine reboot is one of several sweeping changes Musk is considering just days after buying Twitter. This is the next one, sad one. Amazon drivers are at risk of dog attacks. They're looking for answers. Drivers speak out about dogs as a major problem after a driver is killed in a suspected dog attack during a delivery and complain about policies that make it harder to stay safe. Apparently, dogs and mail, Amazon drivers, UPS drivers, FedEx drivers, mailmen have had to deal with dogs for years. CNET talked with 3 Amazon drivers who work for small companies called Delivery Service Partners, who said they face down scary dogs. While dogs can be aggressive to any postal carrier delivery person, they said Amazon policies and reporting tools can make a dangerous situation worse. Amazon says it provides drivers with information about safety at each delivery, such as whether there's a dog at the residence. The company also says it offers live support to drivers who feel they're in an unsafe situation or have an instant report, and it lets drivers send a push notification when they're about to make a delivery to remind customers to secure pets, among other things. Additionally, Amazon says it will direct future deliveries to alternative locations such as Amazon lockers. His employer reported an issue to Amazon about a delivery spot, but he said there was still no warning a couple of weeks later when he had another delivery scheduled at the same property. He said, good thing I have a good memory. A different driver said Amazon added a feature to its delivery app on Wednesday to let drivers directly mark homes as having a dog. Amazon didn't confirm the introduction of this tool. Taylor said the second dog attack could have been much worse if he hadn't broken a rule about taking vans into driveways. The vehicle is much closer than it would have been on the curb. It's scary to think. Now, what was this attack? Other drivers say they made decision to break rules after facing down scary dogs. A North Carolina-based driver said he started carrying pepper spray after 2 dogs cornered him, one biting him before he leaped onto the hood of his van to escape. He asked for a pseudonym to be used because he feared losing his job for carrying a pepper spray, a violation of his employer's rules. Amazon says it allows drivers to carry pepper spray in compliance with state and local laws, but that's not the message this driver got. In comparison, USPS requires postal carriers keep dog repellent spray on them, allows them to use it when dogs attack within limits. USPS runs a week-long dog bite awareness program each year. The employee, which employs 334,000 mail carriers, says more than 5,400 postal employees were attacked by dogs in 2021. That's crazy. Amazon's policy letting customers request back porch and garage deliveries put drivers at extra risk. Speed over safety. I hate it when, that's some front door deliveries at where I'm living now. People could steal stuff real easy when it's on the front porch. And I understand about keeping dog. We have, the German Shepherd that's at my sister's place. They keep him on the hook. He's on the hook and he can't get to the deck. So, because he can be a little bit aggressive with, how German Shepherds are. They're protective. And they understand that. So they keep him on the hook. Hubble Space Telescope peeks into a mysterious keyhole in space. An unexplained rift haunts a nebula. They can't see through it. That's the problem. It looks like a keyhole, but they can't see what's on the other side. So they're very confused. What's going on here? How come they can't see through this? So there's a huge cloud of gas around it, but everything else is black. Very, very interesting. So we'll keep an eye on this. Very, very interesting story. Link will be in the show notes. Bed Bath & Beyond, if you shop there, they confirm a data breach following employee phishing attack. In the 8K filing, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the home goods retailers have been aware that the attacker improperly accessed company data after a successful phishing campaign. This gave the hacker access to data on employees' hard drives and other shared drives to which employee had access. The company said in the filing has no reason to believe that sensitive personal identifiable information was accessed or that cybersecurity incident would have a material impact on the company, but did not provide evidence for this claim. So they didn't say what data was stolen or what type of data the attacker was able to access. So interesting for sure. A little bit of news out of the UK. An unconfirmed hack of Liz Truss' phone prompts calls for urgent investigation. So unconfirmed media reports say Russian spies hacked former UK Prime Minister's phone. Well. Would this be naughty or what? So opposition politicians calling for urgent investigation. An unconfirmed media report that spies suspected of working for Russia hacked the phone of former Prime Minister Liz Truss while she was serving as a foreign minister. The report published in the UK's Mail on Sunday cited unnamed people speaking on condition anonymity, saying Truss' personal cell phone had been hacked. Attackers acquired up to a year's worth of messages discussing highly sensitive discussions with senior international foreign ministers about the war in Ukraine, including detailed discussions about arms shipments. Why? My God. Ladies and gentlemen, when you work for the government, you're not just texting like that. That is in the United States. That type of information would be classified. And you would not be texting. You'd be using secure communications to share that kind of information. The Mail said the hack was discovered during Conservative Party's first leadership campaign over the summer. The discovery was reportedly suppressed by Boris Johnson and Cabinet Secretary Simon Case, with the later reported imposing a news blackout. So far, no other news outlets produced independent reporting confirming the hacking. Claims UK government spokespeople have declined to comment on individual security arrangements. There are immensely important national security issues raised by an attack like this by a hostile state, which have been taken extremely seriously by our intelligence security agencies, the Labour Party Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper said over the weekend. There's also serious questions why and how this information has been leaked or released right now, which must also be urgently investigated. So the question really is, again, why are you discussing this kind of information on or through a phone? I don't get it. Apple's iPhone production could be hamstrung due to a COVID-induced worker exodus at Foxconn. So China's still got a huge COVID issue? People are not being able to go to work. Workers are fleeing from Foxconn, China's largest iPhone factory, amidst a COVID outbreak. Events at the plant could impact Apple's output in November by almost 30%. Apple already hinted at slowing fourth quarter growth after releasing its earnings report last week. Frustrated workers are fleeing one of China's largest iPhone factories amid a COVID-19 outbreak that sent it into a lockdown and could hinder further production. The Zhengzhou Foxconn factory went into closed-loop system after COVID-19 cases began emerging in mid-October. That means workers have not been allowed to leave their premises and are tested regularly. It's one of the waste factories that continue to operate under China's strict COVID-19 restrictions. They still have COVID-19 restrictions. Google has gotten into the Halloween spirit with a ghostly multiplayer interactive doodle at google.com called Green versus Purple. So make sure you get over there and check it out. If you're watching live, thank you so much. Toby, thanks for checking in and saying hello. So again, go over to Google, check that out before the googly goblins are gone. The FTC says EdTech company Chegg, C-H-E-G-G, exposed data belonging to 40 million users. Well. The info included students, religions, and sexual orientations. You may trust Chegg with your textbooks or tutoring, but regulators aren't quite so confident. The FTC's filed a complaint accusing education tech provider Chegg of careless security practice that compromised personal data since 2017. Among the violations, the company reportedly exposed sensitive info for roughly 40 million customers in 2018 after a former contractor used their login to access a third-party database. The content includes names, email addresses, passwords, and even content like religion, sexual orientation, and parent income ranges. The info eventually turned up for sale through the online black market. Why is a company like this keeping sexual preferences and religious preferences in their database? I do not understand. Again, why are companies collecting this type of information? Why do they need that? I fully do not understand. The White House Global Ransomware Summit couldn't come at a better time. The White House has begun its second annual International Counter-Ransomware Summit, in which the president, the administration officials will convene with representatives of 36 nations, the EU, and private business to discuss the growing threat posed by data-destroying cyber attacks. The administration said it was motivated to pursue a second summit after the ransomware attack on Los Angeles schools last month. Along with the EU and its members, participants at the summit include Mexico, the Republic of Korea, several African nations, Ukraine, the UK, Japan, Israel, and others. CrowdStrike, Mandiant, Microsoft, and other tech businesses with securities will be present, as well as FBI Director Christopher Wray, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, and other department leaders. Oh, the president is not expected to attend. Not that he would probably understand a word they were talking about anyway, to be honest. This should come as no surprise. UK police failed to use facial recognition ethically and legally, a study finds. Police should be banned from using it in public spaces, the researchers say. So, wow, what a lead-in storyline. Use of live facial recognition by UK police force fails to meet the minimum ethical and legal standards, according to a study from University of Cambridge. After analyzing LFR use by Metropolitan Met and South Wales Police, researchers conclude that technology should be banned for use in all public spaces. UK police have been testing its use in multiple situations to fight crime and terrorism. 2 cases of LFR was used by Met and South Wales Police to scan crowds and compare faces to those on a criminal watch list. Another officers used FRT smartphone app to scan crowds and identify wanted individuals in real time. In those cases, the team found that police kept from view information about how they use the data and information about demographics. That has in turn made it difficult to determine whether the tools are promoting racial profiling while raising questions about accountability. The Met has claimed that the latest algorithm has improved LFR's accuracy with false alerts to less than 0.08%. They boasted a 70% success rate up to 2020, but an expert from University of Essex hired by police force found it was actually 19%. So, anyway, those of you in the UK, facial recognition is used heavily across the country. So, what do say you? geeknews@gmail.com. You know, I don't know how many of you, but Facebook has asked me multiple times to verify my telephone number. Every once in a while it pops up and says, verify your telephone number. So this is bizarre to me. Facebook probably has your phone number, even if you've never shared it. Now as a secret tool, let you delete it. Really? I don't get it. Any friend who shared their address book with Facebook also shared your details. Firm is a new tool to let people check if Facebook has that data and delete it. The tool's been available since May of 2022, although Meta does not seem to say anything about it. Tips are pointing us to the tool, which is well hidden, apparently only available via a link that is embedded 780 words into a fairly obscure page in Facebook's help section for non-users. The link text gives no indication it's sending to a privacy tool and simply reads, "Click here if you have a question about rights you may have." Once you've actually found the contact blocking tool, it's pretty straightforward. Wow. Wow. I've had to give my phone number. Company explains that even though you may not have signed up to use any core Meta service such as Facebook, App Messenger, or Instagram, it may still have your contact information. Okay. And they have a tool to enter phone numbers to check. Okay. I'm sure there's some service that require a phone number, but I just thought that was default. Over on Yahoo Finance, a crazy Airbnb designs that just won $100,000 from a ghost town gondola and acorn tree house to a salt cave and koi fish dome house. Yep, you want to say someplace weird. These are designs that have, I guess, won some money to design the out-of-this-world properties. I'm hearing it's chaos in Airbnb land right now. Airbnbs right now are being converted because the Airbnb market has collapsed and they're being made available for rentals. I'm hearing that there's just a slaughter going on. And a guy that was doing data logarithm look-intos was looking at, basically he's been tracking Airbnb listings. He says as many as 30% of Airbnbs have been turned into full-time rentals, taken off the Airbnb list. So there is something abreast here. And high demand for rentals are across the country almost. It shouldn't come as a surprise, but Airbnb businesses took a dive. So I guess these big term, you're not going to get these big amounts. You're not going to make big amounts of money by keeping your place rented unless you have something special. I was looking for an Airbnb on the latest trip, and to be honest with you, it was cheaper to stay in a hotel. So there was no deals to be found on anything decent. Hotel was better price than Airbnb. People are just being absolutely greedy on these Airbnb rentals. So I'm curious if any of you have Airbnbs. Are you seeing a downturn? Have you turned your Airbnb into a rental? What are you doing with business travel down and everything else? Good question. All right, it's being rumored that the Apple M2 MacBook Pro could arrive next March. So Apple won't release any new Macs before the end of the year. The company had planned to announce a new M2 version of its 14 and 16 MacBook Pros, but Apple now aims to introduce them in the first quarter of 2023. That launch will likely coincide with the release of Mac OS Ventura 13.3. Apple has launched new products in January, February during recent years. So I expect the new Macs to be announced by the first half of March. So when they finally arrive, the new MacBook Pros will feature the same design as the 2021 models. The primary change Apple's plan is the inclusion of its new M2 Pro and M2 Max chipsets. The M2 Max will feature a 12 CPU core and 38 CPU cores. So there you are. Amazon makes staff cuts at AMP, the app it launched this year to reimagine radio. Yep, they're doing real well with that. In-depth Amazon coverage. Basically, Amazon plans to reimagine radio is running into a bit of static, making staff cuts. Business Insider reported news on Friday said roughly 150 people or half the division were let go. Amazon would not comment on any figures contacted by GeekWire. Amazon working with affected employees to identify other internal job opportunities. So a person with their own unique music taste doesn't have to land a job at a radio station to reach an audience, AMP VP John Sinatu said in March. They just need to launch a show from their phone on AMP to reach anyone. Well, All right. I guess if you want to be your own DJ, just get a Shoutcast streamer. There's an interesting article out on the Intercept talking about. It's called "Truth Cops." Leaked documents outline Department of Homeland Security's plans to police disinformation. Now, let me say that again. Leaked documents outline Department of Homeland Security's plans to police disinformation. The Department of Homeland Security is quietly broadening its efforts to curb speech it considers dangerous. The Intercept found years of internal DHS memos and emails and documents obtained via leaks and ongoing lawsuit, as well as public documents illustrating an expansive effort by the agency to influence tech platforms. The work, much of which remains unknown to the public, came into clear view earlier this year when DHS announced a new disinformation governance board, a panel designed to police misinformation and malinformation, and stuff that is typically shared out of context. Behind closed doors and through pressure on private platforms, the U.S. government has used its powers to try to shape online discourse, according to minute meetings and other records appended to a lawsuit filed by Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt, a Republican who is also running for Senate. Discussions range from the scale and scope of government intervention in online discourse to the mechanics of streamlining takedown requests for false or intentionally misleading information. In a March meeting, Laura Demlow, an FBI official, warned that the threat of a subversive information on social media could undermine support for the U.S. government. Demlow, according to notes of discussion attended by senior executives from Twitter, J.P. Morgan Chase, stressed that we need a media infrastructure that is held accountable. We do not coordinate with other entities in making content moderation decisions, and we independently evaluate content in line with Twitter rules, a spokesperson for Twitter wrote in a statement to The Intercept. There's also a formalized process for government officials to directly flag content on Facebook or Instagram, request that it be throttled or suppressed through a special Facebook portal that requires a government law enforcement email to use at the time of the writing. The content request system at facebook.com/x takedown/login is still live. Department of Homeland Security and Meta, the parent company of Facebook, did not respond. The FBI declined to comment. This is crazy. This goes on and on. This is an article you all need to read. The government wants to control speech. They want to control stuff that they feel is not true. This is scary when the government has the ability to go in and tell a private company, squash this, suppress it, ghost it. It's very, very scary. It is it blows me away that they are able to actually, and these companies are potentially cooperating with them. According to the Intercept, U.S. officials have routinely lied about an array of issues, from the cause of its wars in Vietnam and Iraq to their more recent obfuscation around the role of the National Institute of Health in funding the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The tracker has not prevented U.S. government from seeking to become arbiters of what constitutes false or dangerous information on inherently political topics. Earlier this year, Republican Governor Senate Ron DeSantis signed a law known by supporters to Stop Woke Act, which bans private employers from workplace training, asserting an individual's moral character is privileged or oppressed based on his race or color, sex, or national origin. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression has since filed a lawsuit, allegedly unconstitutional censorship. A federal judge temporarily blocked parts of the Stop Woke Act, ruling that the law has violated workers' First Amendment rights. So it just goes on and on and on and on. Link will be up in the show notes. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. I really, really would. Hey, just so you guys know, too, everything is on for CES, and I plan to be in attendance. I've booked my airline ticket. I have my hotel reservation, so I'll be there. But I did get a couple emails here in that I want to read that came in. One came in from Jim. He said, "Hey, Todd, this is about PayPal." Wait a minute. I think I read this one already. Let me read the other one. Hey, sorry, but I ramble too long for comments to your show. Earlier sent a book about PayPal. Don't buy. I already read it. He says, I'm livid at PayPal, even if they did back down. They were trying to do the cancel culture thing, just like Nazi Germany was doing before and during World War II. I'm looking for another way to pay you and other services. Banks should just handle money and stay out of people's business as long as the activity is legal. Jim, non-fiat route. Satoshis are a great way to donate to the show. Don't have to just put little money in a wallet. And matter of fact, a great service to use is called Get Alby or Go Alby. Get Alby. I think it's Get Alby. Let me Google it here real quick. Is it Get Alby or Go Alby? Yeah, Get Alby. And this, you're going to see some things coming soon for this show and others. For those of you that are looking for a solution, they basically can provide you a wallet that allows you to work in the Lightning Network to be able to send Satoshis to this show and others. Again, it's a cool thing. Play around with it, put $10 in it, and see how it works. So and definitely check it out at getalby.com. It's great for podcasters and for those of you that are listeners as well. So had a meeting with them last week. But big things to come on that in the near future. All right. So this is going to get me close to the end of the show here. Kurt, we made it 50 minutes, dude. You thought we were short on content. I was long on chat. So don't worry, we're good. Definitely appreciate all of you being here. Thanks for putting up with my absence. I hope you didn't pick up a whole bunch of new shows to listen to. But I'll be back with you on Thursday for another edition of the Geek News Central podcast. Make sure you send your comments to geeknews@gmail.com. Again, big thank you to all of you that are insiders in your ongoing contributions at geeknewscentral.com/insider. I know I had a couple of people drop off. It's okay. I understand that. But again, listen to the show on the Fountain app. Get it set up. You can directly donate to the show while you're listening. You can boost the show to send a Satoshi donation. And it can be 6.7 cents. You can send 100 Satoshis or 1,000 or 10,000 or 50 or 100. And we're going to start making some award levels if you donate so many Satoshis to the show. And being able to send out like a care package and stickers and that kind of stuff as an incentive. I've got some really cool Geek News Central swag. And so that's another thing too. If you are an insider right now and already contributing to the show, send me an email, send me your address, and I will send you a sticker pack for just being an insider, even at the $2 level, so that you get a little value back from me. And if you make at least a 50,000 Satoshi donation on any of the apps, basically that you can do value for this show. Again, if you got value for this show, that's what it's all about, is using the way to do a boost the show, boost. And you can find all these information out at newpodcastapps.com. Of course, again, my name is Todd Cochran. You can find me at geeknewscentral.com or geeknews@gmail.com. It's my pleasure to bring this show. Be back with you on Thursday. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being super fans of the show. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Everyone take care. Be back at you soon. All right. See you later. Maybe. Well, I'll just go away because I have to do this. Didn't work. All right.